I want to take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you for this beautiful Sabbath morning. I hope that you all will be able to enjoy the presence of the Lord and the blessings of the Lord. What is been able to be in store in each one of our lives today. We do have very, very special guests with us. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome you wholeheartedly amongst us. Our very, very special welcome goes to Miss Amarjit. Stand up for us. Okay. Very happy that you could be able to be there with us, and we are very much thrilled. May God bless you. We welcome you wholeheartedly from the HopeSide Community Church. Okay. And we do have Miss Irene with us. A very special guest also indeed, and we're very happy to have you with us, ma'am. You don't know that all of you have filled up pews today and made us glad, and I believe the Spirit of the Lord is there with us, and I hope He's going to bless you abundantly. And of course, we do have Sister Sarah. This is the second time she's coming, but we want to welcome you all to this house. And of course, now we do have the Peter family with us, and Sister Rosemary is there with us, and of course, the Sister Anita. We studied together at Washington Adventist University, and we welcome you. And of course, we do have another special guest, that is Brother Peter with us. We want to welcome you wholeheartedly to the HopeSide Community Church. And all our guests, I want you please to stand up, and we want to have a special welcome to you. To our HopeSide community, we will have a small token of appreciation for your coming with us, and I hope that you'll be able to accept that and feel at home. Okay, as well. Please to stand up. Okay, please to stand up. It is time to communicate with the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in prayer. Amen. Prayer is entering into the throne room of God. Prayer is your entering into the mind of God. Prayer, that you're putting your supplication known to the all God mighty, who is all powerful, who knows everything beforehand. So as we kneel down, we are at the presence of God. It's a very powerful moment that He's going to come down and bless us and answer petitions. At this time, anyone who has any praise reports or prayer requests, and before we could be able to do that, we do have some prayer requests that we do pray continuously. We want to pray for Pastor Dudley Ponaya, who is suffering from cancer. We do want to pray for Mr. Reginald Alexander, who had a recently heart transplantation. And we want to pray for Pastor Undru Andra, who is in a very old age, is still strong. He still has faith in God. And we do want to pray for Miss A.I. John. So keeping this request in our mind, do we have any other praise report? What the Lord has been able to do to you the whole week? And any prayer request that we can be able to pray with. And the Lord is going to answer.
There is Mrs. Savnala Jones, who is in a critical condition. She down with pneumonia, and last night I was told that she probably would be put what is called ventilator. So kindly remember her in your personal prayers. Mrs. Savnala Jones.
So we will be able to remember Mrs. Savnala Jones. Any other requests? Yes, sister. And this is Mother Mary Grace Chavakula, the mother of Brother Anand Chavakula. Okay.
His name is Brian. Very Sandra. I'm a co-worker today. Please pray for him.
Wow, the mother's concern. Okay, praise Brother Anand. Brother, we never do all this, okay? So we will do remember Brother Anand, okay, in our prayers, as the Lord is going to bless him.
I want to thank God and praise Him for the safe travel that He's given me and my mom. The journey was long and tiring for my mom. She's 85. And I want to praise God for her memory.
Amen. 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 Amen.
And that she could walk and come over to church. I thought the weather and the circumstances will keep her down, the jet lag and all that. She was the first one in the home to get ready for church yesterday and today.
Yeah, we want to thank God. Yes, God is safe without any difficulty. We praise God. Fine. Okay.
I thank God for healing me completely from my leg injury.
I could be able to see you walking through.
Normally, so I'm happy and thank God. And it's not finished with me yet.
Amen.
And but sometimes we were worried about my husband because he was having headaches, and he went to the doctor and he had an MRI. Thank God everything came out good. No tumor, no aneurysm. So praise God for that.
Amen.
So I told him today morning that God is not finished with me yet. So I think God has a purpose for each one of our lives, and He's coming soon, and we have to do our part in order to hasten His coming.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much for that. Yes, Sister Larita.
Last week, I asked for a prayer request, and the problem was not solved yet, but it's getting better. So I thank God, and please continue to pray. And I also have an unspoken request.
Sister Lalita, who has an unspoken request. Any other prayer request? Oh, yes. Yes, Sister.
I would like to thank God that I just came back from vacation in the Philippines and able to see my parents. So please also pray for my parents, like about their faith, because they're in a different denomination. And before I left, they're talking about the state of the dead. So I have really hard time. I'm not convincing, but I'm just sharing the text. It seems like they're not really absorbing, or like they're not open to any kind of discussion. Maybe they're discussing, but it looks like their faith in the other one is very strong. Even though I showed them the text that says, about the state of the dead. So please pray for them with their faith and their knowledge, or the doctrines as well, because they have different beliefs of when we die, what will happen to us. So that is really my thing with my parents. And please pray for my father, because he will have incoming surgery. His both eyes has cataract and glaucoma, and the pressure in the eyes is higher. So please pray for them as well.
We will certainly be able to remember your parents. Can I know your father's name, please?
Rogelio.
Once again?
Rogelio.
Rogelio. We will certainly remember him. The Lord, in His own infinite mercy, is waiting to hear our prayers and is ready to answer them immediately. And before we could be able to get into the prayers, yes, sir, Brother Anand.
I would like to express my great gratitude, deep gratitude, and thankfulness to God for allowing me to see another year of my life. And so today happens to be my birthday. And so He has been watching over me through all the ways that I've been going, and especially with the ministry that has been started over here for the last 7 years now. So I like to publicly rededicate myself for His mission, so that the work that needs to be done through us and through so many people and through those who are coming here as well will be done effectively and in a way that is glorifying to Him.
Thank you, brother. Before we get into the prayer, and do you have any testimonies that you want to share with, we'll be able to welcome you in this regard. Please to come forward, and then you can be able to testify about it.
Right. First of all, I just want to say thank you for Pastor Anand that he extended the invitation, and the pleasure is really mine. I'm sorry, I can't understand the sign language. Pastor Anand is doing. But I just want to extend my blessings to you. We are few in numbers, but God's Spirit, where it is, He is, we are majority. So we are blessed. I am from Sikh background. I am from India, from Punjab, northern. Many of you know people who wear turbans. And I'm the only one God handpicked. In 1999, actually it is the answer to my husband's prayer. I'm given 5 to 10 minutes, so you let me know when you want me to cut it out, because God, I'm a communicator, I'm His mouth. If I start, nobody can shut me off, so you have to tell me when the time is up. So my husband was praying behind my back. I wanted to be like him. He's very humble, very loving, very, very kind, forgiving, but very strong willpower person, and very firm what he believes in. And when I was going to Gurdwara and I was member at large, had a good position, I was singing, I was in worship team, and people used to cry. I used to cry when I sang. So much agony in my voice because I wanted to, there was more of God, what I was seeing and I was hearing. But my voice was crying out, but I didn't know how. So God knows your heart. He changed your heart before He changed you, pull you towards Himself. So my husband's hard-working prayers, he was telling me, Jesus is knocking at your door. I said, well, I think I can hear well, but tell Him to knock at my door. He said, well, you have to open the door. I said, when I hear Him, I will open the door, but not as you said. But one day, making it a very short story, one day I was in my bedroom and my husband had night shift and he left. And I'm by myself. A preacher, T.D. Jakes, you must have heard him. And he was preaching and he was telling the story of this Samaritan woman. And I knew the Bible stories more because in my house, even if I was not Christian, all my husband heard was the preachings and the worship songs all the time. So I knew all these stories and I wanted to be like him, but it was my being arrogant not to admit that I want to be what you have, I want to have. So that particular night he was preaching and he said, when he's waiting, that Jesus is waiting on the well, and he said that the lady came to get the water and she came at the noontime, and mostly if you know the history, women will go for water in the evening or in the morning. Nobody goes in the noontime. Only people goes when they don't want to see anybody, they don't want to socialize with anybody. So that woman goes at an odd time, and Jesus knew and he was waiting there, and he said, well, give me the water. She said, well, number one, what are you doing on my well here? Your well is on the other side. And number two, you don't have anything to pull the water. And Jesus said, if you know who I am, I'm the living water. If you drink from me, you will never thirst again. Till this part, I was okay. I was listening. But then he said to the woman, he said, you are taking, she said, I'm taking water from my husband. He said, you have 5 husbands, but the one you are taking the water, you are not even married to him. That kind of God to me. The Spirit of the Lord just connected with me. I felt like that He pointed a finger at me. And He said, you have 5 husbands. The one you are living with or sleeping with, you are not even sincere to him. And I stood up from my bed like somebody has stripped me down. I was like tears going through my eyes, and I said, no, I don't have 5 husbands. And I was loud enough that I'm having conversation. I'm by myself in the room, and the voice came, the rejection, the anger, the hurt, the loneliness, the fears, those are your 5 husbands, and that you are hand reach of your husband, you can't even reach him. You don't even trust him. You don't let him get inside. So I started to cry, and the first thing we women know, we want to hide in the bathroom, look at the mirror, and crying. And I put my hands down, and I'm crying. Tears are just going. I didn't say any word from my mouth, but my spirit was speaking. That's the first time I heard that somebody can speak that way. So I heard the voice of the Lord. He said, I said, so how do I get rid of that? How do I do that? I love my husband. He said, well, you can't do it if you allow me to do. In my spirit, I did not say any prayer, Pastor. I didn't say I repent or come into my heart. No. But my spirit bowed down to him. And I said, I let my guards down, and I said, okay, here I am. So I cried there, but when I cried, so he said, as the umbilical cord is pulled from mother and child, not pulled but cut, this is how I will cut these things, and you will not feel the pain. When I came back to my senses, I cried. My appearance was changed, because when God touched you inside, if you are not changed, then we need to look back into our life. We need to look back that why I'm not changed. If that mighty God who touched me inside, then my outside should be reflecting that. So my husband came home, and I am all totally mess. And I told him, and the things started to come to me. I didn't sleep all night. The things came. He is knocking at my door. I had to open the door. He'd been knocking at the door. He said, I am at the door. Whoever will open the door, I will come inside. Who will come inside? So many people come with the pamphlets, even from church. Jehovah's Witness, they walk in, they tell you, you don't let them in. You just say, okay, I know Jesus Christ. Go to somebody else who doesn't know. You don't open. You only open the door to people you know. And you only allow some people, they just stay in your living room. They don't go in your supper table. But some people, you are intimate with them. You take them to the table, you sit with them, you come, have a conversation, you talk. That's what he's talking about. He's not talking about Saturday or Sunday prayers, but he was talking to me that you open the door, now I will come inside. Then he will force his life on you, and he will supper with you. We should have prayers that will open the door that takes us to the chambers of the holies. But the conversations we have in intimacy when we are eating the word of God, that's when it really works. So the Lord spoke to me in my ear in a very audible voice. He said, you wasted so much time, now we're going to fly on eagle wings. I was working for the airlines. Every pilot who came, they went through my eyes because I was doing operation work. Whenever they come, my face, I'm a dark complexion person, naturally. But my face was glowing because the glow of his was on my face. How many times I have looked back that, Lord, please give me my first love back. I think I have lost it. I think I've become familiar with your word and with your appearance and with your character. Please give me a new revelation, because I want to have that glow back on my face. When people looked at me and they said, well, why your face is so glowing? And I would sit like a little lamb and I would say, my cup runneth over. Because when he touches you, he touched my life. If I tell you, Pastor, how many storms came, that's such is life, right? Everybody can testify. They are in the storm, they are out of storm, or they are getting into the storm. We are all familiar with the storms. I have I will change my word. My son, 27 years old, in medical field with Johns Hopkins, passed away 10 years ago. That was a big storm for me. And people look at me, they say, how did you make through that? I don't know. But the one who said that he doesn't sleep or slumber over me, even when I'm resting, he's the one keeping me. Every night I say, Lord, this was the day I was able to go through. If you don't get me out tomorrow from the bed, I will not be able to do. I am solely depending on him to get me out of the bed. Isaiah 55:11 says, every word coming from my mouth will not go void. It will bring fruit forth. And wherever it goes, it shall bring prosperity. So if he says that either I am doing the buffeting, eating onions and eating tomatoes and eating lettuce and eating carrots, or I am believing every word of God. When he said that, I was like a child. He said, come like a child, not like a childish. So I came like a child. Whatever the word he said on that, I said, I'm going to put my life on it. I told Jesus Christ, I said, okay, I will follow you, but if you do these 3 things for me. He did it abundantly. Not that only thing that I started to follow him, because I started to see that his word is a living word. It was different for me yesterday because I was a baby. I was a child. He was giving me milk. Now the same word I'm reading, I'm like sucking the bone of a goat. It's more marrow coming out. It's more giving me. So I started to just put my trust in the word. And I am here to tell you, we have heard all the prayer meetings. I have to encourage you, my sister, my whole family is not believing in Jesus Christ. But the word of God said, if one believes, whole family is supposed to be saved. So that's what I am banging on. So have courage, man. And the healing, God said, I am your healer. We gotta believe him. We gotta walk in power. He said that I am your good shepherd. You shall not want. He said, I will supply all your needs. He supplies all your needs according to his riches and his glory, not my riches. I may have $1 million and I have to maybe do from that, but he has everything. So it is according to his riches and glory. I'm not jealous with you because I'm not getting from you, I'm getting from him. We need to encourage each other with love. If somebody is living a good life as a Christian, like we have discussion in the study, I believe the fruit of the Spirit will tell that if that milk is mixed with poison. If I am humble, I am God's child. If I'm meek, I'm God's child. If I'm gentle, I am God's child. If I'm giving, I am God's child. If I'm caring, I'm his child. So those are the fruit of the Spirit. That's what we need to show. We shouldn't be the reader, the hearer, the reader of the word. We say that the faith comes by hearing, but hearing by the word of God. We should not be just a hearer and doer. We should be the doer, not hearer and readers only. We should project what he is because we are his hands, we are his mouth. So I'm here to tell you, he has spoken the word according to Isaiah 55:11. No word goes void. He is my healer, he is my healer. He said that he will heal me, he will heal me. He may not take care of all the problems like you have it. The problem is not solved yet. But he's teaching you something in that storm. He's telling you, walk on waters. I am right there to hold you. I will not let you drown. He said, I'm the God who never sleeps, never slumbers. So my life is depending on him. Every moment I take one step, I say, Lord, I'm not going without you. Like Moses said, if you're not going there, please don't take me. I'm not going there because I'm not good enough. But with him, we are good enough. So this is what I am. This is what I want to do. Encourage people from my brokenness. There are so many families, they lose their children, young ones. They don't know how to deal with this tragedy. And God put in your path. And I had broken marriage as well. So I am candidate for everything. That pot have many cracks. You know, when the pot is cracked, you put the candle in, it will shine through and it looks beautiful, rather than having a chandelier. So my prayer for you is, as I pray for myself, the Lord, don't make me a chandelier that people look at, they have to close their eyes, but make me a footpath light, that I may be the light just like you are. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I am very blessed.
The same Isaiah 55, 8 and 9, the Bible says, my ways are not your ways. My thoughts and my ways are higher than your thoughts and your ways. Lord, thank you for the beautiful testimony. God bless you and guide you through as you walk in the footsteps. It's time to seek the Lord in prayer. Is there any other testimony that you want to give and share with us today? If not, let's reverently kneel down and seek the Lord in prayer. Our gracious, loving, and living Heavenly Father, we praise you, we honor you, we glorify your name for all the blessings of life. The very life of existence is because of your love and grace. We are here, O Father, we bow down before you, unworthy to call you our Father, but through the blood of Christ, you gave us an opportunity to communicate with your Father. Lord of heaven, have mercy on us. Forgive our sins and shortcomings that have committed any. Purge us with your blood. May the blood of Christ cleanse us from all unrighteousness, giving us an opportunity to be standing holy in front of you, O Father. Not because we are, because of your only Son, Jesus, who died on the cross of Calvary. We come boldly before the throne of grace because you loved us, you cared for us. This is the time where we are kneeling down before you, O Father. We want to put forth our requests. Especially, I want to pray for Pastor Bertie Panaya, Mr. Reginald Alexander, Pastor Undu Andra, and Miss A.I. John. Want to make your stand of Christ be able to touch them, bring healing physically, spiritually, mentally. May the blessed hand of Christ be able to go before them for today. May they enjoy the healing of your hand, O Father. Continue to help them to grow in your vineyard. Want to pray for Miss Sadhana Jones. She's in the hospital. You are the greatest physician now and here who sympathizes with your children. May she be healed in the name of Jesus. Go home safe without any difficulty today, O Father. I want to thank Jesus for the Anand Chavukula who is celebrating his birthday today. You added one more year in his life. May he be a shining light on the mountaintop. And through his life and through the ministry that is committed with the Father, may he be able to draw many more souls to your kingdom. Continue to grant and many more birthdays to be celebrated if it is time well. I want to thank you for Sister Jyoti and Miss Grace who could guide them safely all the way from India to US. Thank you for the traveling nurses. I want to thank you for Sister Amuda. You're healing her. I want to praise you for it. I want to pray for her lovely husband too. May the mighty hands of Christ be stretched forth so that he might be able to see the blessed hands of Jesus Christ going with him. I want to pray for Brother Rohan and his lovely wife and the family members of Father. May the faith be strengthened. The only instilled faith is through Jesus and Jesus alone. May he be able to be guided by your Spirit. I want to thank you for our visitors today, O Father. Bless them all abundantly. May you speak to them. Thank you for the lovely testimony. May you guide this lovely sister's family in the matchless way, O Father, so that in the future days to come, she will be a shining light on the mountaintop unto her testimony unto her life. Many more souls might have an opportunity to see Jesus. I want to pray for Brother Christopher Jaladhi. Today, O Father, you anointed him to be able to speak to us. May you anoint him with your Spirit, so that every words of his mouth and the meditation of his heart be acceptable in thine sight. We come each one of us to you. This is not our day, O Father, this is your day. As the flowers opens its petals to the sun, may you open our hearts to the Son of righteousness, so that we could be able to hear you. Come now, O Father, dwell with us, bless us, speak to us, give us a consecrated heart, discerning heart, mind, and soul, so that we could be able to listen to your word and go out with this heart of worship with a consecrated heart. In Jesus' name I pray.
The song which I am going to sing is, the meaning of the song is Matthew 11:28 says that, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." The song says, "I'll give you rest, come to me."
Paripurna Vishranti
It's time for a scripture reading. If you have your Bibles, please turn with me to Proverbs chapter 24, verse 11 and 12. Proverbs chapter 24, verse 11 to 12. And the Bible says it very clearly. If thou forbear to deliver them that are drawn unto death, and those that are ready to be slain. Verse 12. If thou sayest, behold, we knew it not, that not he that pondereth the heart consider it, and he that keepeth thy soul, that not he know it, and shall not he render to every man according to his works. May God bless the portion of the scriptures just been read. We're very happy to have Brother Jaladhi with us. I just heard about him, that he's a composer and he's a singer. And very privileged that we have you, sir. And welcome, so that you will be able to sing to us a special song. This one.
It's over here. The song I'm going to sing is based on Matthew 5:15, where you see the mention of the Beatitudes. It's my own composition, one of my many compositions. I hope this song will inspire and help you draw close to God. Blessed we are the poor, God
thank you, Lord, for this privilege you have given us, for the time that we could spend in your presence on this holy Sabbath. Accept us, accept our meditation, and fill us with your Spirit so that we may serve you the best way possible in winning souls for you. In Jesus' precious name we pray. Amen. Nice to have a childhood friend of mine here, Rosalie. I was thinking, I think I have known this family now over 65 years. When I was, I think, 6 years, I first saw this family. And nice to have them sing, both brother and sister. Thank you. I was wondering whether I should really preach this morning. After hearing that beautiful testimony, Sister Amajit Kaur, I don't know if that's Kaur or Mercy now. Okay. Speaking to her, I discovered that they are from Jaladhi, where we lived for a few years. My family, we enjoyed our stay in Jaladhi, in cantonment, very close to Khalsa College. And I remember going to Pagwara, that's your native place. And it's so nice to have you here and for that beautiful testimony. I wish you continued more.
I wish to.
Amen.
So that I could just say Amen and then sit down. But when Brother Anand called me and reminded me that this is my week, I preach on the 4th week of every month. Then he said, Uncle, will you please, make your sermon a little short. Now I'm a village pastor. And village preachers don't stop. Just as you said, once you start, it is never ending. It's difficult. I'll try my best. I will definitely stop before 2 o'clock. All right. So thank you very much. And for all the visitors who are here with us this morning, the church is looking full. And just as you said, the empty pews are occupied by the angels.
Amen.
And so, the church is indeed full.
Amen.
And then, those of you who are coming here for the first time, God bless you. May He use you mightily in His cause. It's nice to have babies with us, right? With all the grown-ups and the old people, I told Brother Roger a little while ago, I said, I'm an old man. And of course, with all the old people, to have a young baby is a blessing. Anand, want to wish you many, many happy returns of this day. And God give it. Okay? And may He use you mightily in His work. Brother Jeffrey said God is good. And what did y'all say?
All the time.
What did y'all say?
All the time.
All the time. And then he said, all the time, and what did you say?
God is good.
You really believe?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
If God is good and you are His people, are you good? God wants us to be good. And to be good is to be on His job. To be good is to represent Him. To be good is to live for Him. Amen?
Amen.
Yes. He wants us to be good. The scripture that we have seen, in another translation, it reads thus, Proverbs 24, verses 11 and 12. Proverbs 24, verses 11 and 12. Rescue those who are being taken away to death. Rescue those who are being taken away to death. Hold back those who are stumbling to the slaughter. Hold back those who are stumbling to the slaughter. If you say, listen carefully, if you say, we did not know this, we are not aware of this, does not he who weighs the heart perceive it? Does not he who keeps watch over your soul know it? And will he not repay man according to his work? Simply, this text is saying that there are people perishing, that there are people being slaughtered every day, and Brother Roger said there are, or it's Brother Jeffrey, who said there are people dying in Bolivia, there are people dying here, there are people dying there are people dying everywhere. And when people are dying, when people are slaughtered, if you simply turn and say, I did not know this, I have not heard, I am ignorant, then you know what God says? He who weighs the heart perceive it. He knows what you are and what you have in your heart. Does not he who keeps watch over your soul know it? And will he not repay man according to his work? Somebody is dying. Somebody is being slaughtered. Can you sit in peace and say, never mind. It just doesn't matter to me. It doesn't affect me. I'm not concerned. What you feel a burden? What you feel something troubling you in your heart that keeps you on your toes? Little Jessica McClure was just 18 months. Mother took her to her sister's place in Midland, Texas. And while they were sitting in the backyard, enjoying the sun, the phone rang. Mother Reba took her phone and for 5 minutes turned her attention away from the little Jessica who was playing in the backyard. And within that little time, the story tells us that little Jessica, just 18 months old, strolling in the backyard, went to a place where there was uncovered and unused hole, just 8 inches wide and 22 feet deep. And Jessica fell into that hole. 18-month baby. When the news came, whole of Texas was disturbed. The whole nation was disturbed. People sat at the televisions, radios, viewing and listening to the story of rescue. Government sent in people to rescue. Volunteers came. They wanted to rescue this 18-month little baby, Jessica McClure. Hours passed. Went into days. They dug a parallel hole by the side of that hole where Jessica was, and then going 2 feet below where she was, they made a connection after 58 hours. And then they brought Jessica out. 58 hours. That little 18-month baby was in that hole 22 feet. When the baby was brought. Oh, there was joy everywhere. People jumped, people shouted, and if they had a tambourine like Sister Sarah, they must have waved it in a high above clap. They said, Jessica is saved. A little life was saved. They sent in cards, they sent in money, they sent in prayers because Jessica was saved. Yes, if people sat in their homes in their comfortable cushion sofas, do you think Jessica would have been brought out of the hole even after 58 hours? How many precious lives are being lost every day in this world of ours? How many souls are perishing not knowing the love of Jesus and his great sacrifice? Death is not a stranger to all of us. One way or the other, each family has been affected by this uninvited guest called death. When somebody dies, if it does not affect you, if somebody is perishing, if you do not feel touched, something is wrong with us. Something is wrong with us. You know how many people die every day? 55.3 million people die every year. 55.3 million. 151,600 people die each day. 6,016 people die every hour. And 105 people die every minute. Right here in our country, 7,452 people die each day. That is one person dying every 12 seconds. People are perishing all around us. They're dying, and these deaths should concern each one of us. When people die, what assurance can we give them of their future? And what is their love? Beloved, to rescue is our solemn responsibility. To save souls is our job. That's what God called us for. In John 3:16, we have the beautiful promise where God says He loved the world and He doesn't want anyone should perish, but have everlasting life. Jesus Himself said in Luke 19:10 that He came to seek and to save that which is lost. He came to seek and save. Jordan Dillion, in his beautiful song, he penned these words. He said, "You came to seek and save the lost. Open salvation's door, you gave us your crown of gold to wear our crown of thorns. No evil thought or unjust deed has ever come from you. Through your fullness life we can have our lives made anew. What life I have in Christ. With open eyes I see the cross. What life I have in Christ." People spend time and energy to find something they have lost. If you lost something, you spend everything. Last night, my sister-in-law displayed something in Ollie. From evening till almost late in the night, She was so upset, shouting at my brother, and she went looking here, there, everywhere. They live in Army, by the way. People spend time looking for things they have lost. Something they think is precious to them. How much more does God look for us who are being lost every moment of the day? The lost and perishing souls that He gives so much. Luke tells us a beautiful story of finding a lost soul. Jesus was on His way to Jericho. Luke tells. And as Jesus walked, the multitudes followed Him. They wanted to be very close to Him. Some of them wanted to touch Him. But Jesus continued His walk towards Jericho. And as He walked into the city of Jericho, He suddenly stopped at a place and He looked up into the tree that was there, a sycamore tree. And then looking at a man sitting up there in the branches of the tree, Jesus turned to him and said, Zacchaeus, you come down. For I'm going to your home to sup with you. I'm going to your home to spend a day with you. Come down. And the story tells us. Zacchaeus came quickly down, took Jesus to his home and entertained him, took care of him. Very interesting story. Very interesting story. Recorded in the 19th chapter of Gospel according to Luke. In the 9th verse, Jesus says, Today, Zacchaeus, salvation has come to this house, since you are also a son of Abraham. In the 10th verse it says, For the Son of Man came to seek and to save that is lost. Son of Man came to seek and save that is lost. Beloved, if that is His mission, as His children, what should be our concern? Should we sit in our easy chairs comfortably and put our leg one on the other and say, nothing matters, nothing concerns me, nothing bothers me, everything's okay? In 1990, the great American bank in this country, by mistake, dropped $45,500 into the trash can. $42,500. I better keep my specs on. I am not able to read the numbers. $42,500 bills. They dumped into the dustbin. And then soon the cleaners came and emptied the dustbin and dumped them into the trash wherever it is. And the trash was collected and carried away. The bank people were so disturbed, so worried. So they called people to go and search in the dumping area, so that this money, $42,500, could be found in the trash area. God wants each one of us to search for those people that are perishing, just like this money thrown into the trash. Jesus' entire ministry was to seek and to save souls. No sick, suffering, and dying soul ever escaped the notice of our loving Savior and His saving grace. Every hungering and thirsting person was cared for and provided with. For every sin-sick and perishing soul, He shed His precious blood and gave His dear life. His love and sacrifice are beautifully expressed in the song written by Francis Havergal in 1858. We have this song, we sing it. I gave my life to thee. My precious blood I shed. Thou must ransom me and raise up from the dead. I gave my life for thee. What hast thou given for me? I gave my life for thee. What hast thou given for me? My Father's house of light, my glory circle throne, I left for earthly night, for wandering sad and lone. I left it all for thee, hast thou left aught for me? I left it all for thee, hast thou left aught for me? Beautiful song. Beautiful message. He gave His life for us. He shed His blood and bore the nails in His palms and feet. And He turns and says, I have done all this for you. What have you done for me? What have you done for me? He did it all for you and me, my friends. What have you and I really done? To rescue, God takes the initiative. To rescue, it is His desire. He takes the initiative. In the work of rescuing, God tells us what to do and how to do it. He knows the details of how the rescue should take place. Psalm 82, verses 3 to 4. Turn your Bibles with me. Psalm 82, verses 3 and 4. It says, Psalm 82, verses 3 and 4. Give justice to the weak and the fatherless. Maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked. What a solemn responsibility that God has for us. What a solemn responsibility. The rescue the weak and the needy. Jesus not only urges us to be co-laborers with Him in saving souls and rescuing the perishing, He also set us example of how to do it. In Book of Acts, chapter 12, verses 1 to 11, we have an interesting story. Peter was in the prison because he was preaching. They put him there, and Herod was there trying to take the advantage of this situation. You know, Herod. He was a hypocrite. Although he was a Jew, he really did not live a Jewish life. He lived more like a Roman. He lived a hypocritical life. And so, Peter was in the prison. And while he was in the prison, in fact, just a little before Peter was taken to the prison, James, the brother of Jesus, was beheaded. And so, things were not very good. And Peter in the prison, he was there, chained and guarded by 4 guards. Each shift, they had 4 shifts. And Peter was there with chains between these soldiers. the whole day, whole night. Now it was midnight. Chained between the soldiers, middle of the night, Peter was fast asleep. I don't know how he could go to sleep like that. I really don't know how Peter could go to sleep like that. I wonder if you can go to sleep like that. No? Yes? You all must be good sleepers. You all must be good sleepers. Thank God. 2 chains and the gods by the side, and you are lying down on the floor. And can you go to sleep? Peter did. Peter did. You can go to sleep under any circumstances if God is with you. Amen? If God is with you, nothing will matter. I can go to sleep very comfortably. And my children say, Daddy, with so much disturbance you are able to sleep. Yes, I can sleep any time. Peter went to sleep. While Peter was sleeping peacefully, the church in Jerusalem was praying earnestly. In the upper room, they sat praying for Peter for his rescue. And here Peter, fast asleep, between the soldiers in the prison cell. God hears our prayers. Whatever the circumstances are, God hears our prayers. And God heard the prayers of these people. And so the Bible tells us an angel came and stood by the side of Peter, and the angel said, Peter, rise. And as soon as Peter stood up, the chains that were around his waist, the chains that were around his feet, ankles, all fell. And the angel said, put on your clothes, put on your shoes, and follow me. And the story tells us that Peter was taken out by the angel, and he was rescued. 2 Chronicles 7:14. We find the words of God where he says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, listen carefully, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and heal their land. If my people, those of us who call ourselves the children of God, he is talking to us, if my people. The church humbled themselves and prayed earnestly for Peter. Yes, God heard them and sent an angel to deliver them. It was midnight. And the angel came and touched him and took him out of the prison. And no one noticed as Peter walked out between the soldiers. There were guards at the gates, not one gate, 2 gates, there were many gates. And each gate as he passed, none noticed. And he was taken out. By the way, the next day, Peter was to appear in the court. He was dead. Tomorrow, the following day, he was to face Herod. He was to face Sanhedrin. He was to face authorities. But what happened? That night, he walked out. No chains, nothing holding him. He was safely out. He followed the angel out through the gates, covered by the righteousness of God, and walking between the gods unnoticed, protected. How fitting is the assurance of God recorded in Psalm 34:7. This beautiful verse that some of us know it by heart. It says, the angel of the Lord encampeth around those that fear him. How beautiful it is. The angel of the Lord encampeth. He is around us. He is like a fence as long as we fear him. Yes, rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked, says the word. God did that exactly in the life of Peter. The word rescue has three meanings if you look at it in the dictionary. Rescue means, number one, to be delivered. Number two, to be loosed or freed. And number three, to be covered. To be covered or recovered. In the life of Peter, these three things exactly happened. Peter was delivered from the prison from between the guards, and he was loosed from the chains that were binding him, and he was covered as he walked out between those guards who were chained to him. Guards were at the doors, guards all around, guards around the prison. He was covered by the brightness of God, and he was taken safely out. Jesus rescued the demonic who was troubled by a legion of devils. You know the story, right? Mark 5, verses 1 to 20. This demonic was brought to Jesus. And when he was brought to Jesus, he was under the hold of devils. And Jesus loosed him from a legion. A legion is 1,000. 1,000 devils torturing him. And Jesus loosed him from those devils and covered him with the grace of God. Yes, rescuing. What are God's expectations for his people? What does God expect us in the matter of rescuing? After telling us to rescue those who are taken to death, those are perishing, and hold back those who are stumbling to the slaughter, God shows us his concern of our reluctance and unwillingness. He tells us to rescue, but he also knows that we are not all completely ready to do that. Proverbs chapter 24, verse 12, he says, Behold, we did not know this. Does not he who weighs the heart perceive it? Does not he who keeps watch over your soul know it? And will he not repay you according to man's work? Behold, we did not know this. A Cadillac was parked on the roadside for a long time in Los Angeles. This happened a long time back. A police officer came doing his duty faithfully. Came, saw this car, took his book, wrote a, what do you call it? A parking ticket, and stuck it in the front of the glass. And then went on his way. The police officers are very faithful in doing their duties. He did it. Saw this car, came, stuck the ticket, and then he moved it. But he did not realize there was a person sitting in the car. The person that was seated there was unfortunately shot dead. He was shot dead, and not noticing the dead person, the police officer did his job faithfully and moved away. Aren't we sometimes like that? Now I don't mean the police officers are all like that, okay? But this story tells us this is what happened. When something like this happens, how concerned should we? Can we shake our responsibility and plead ignorance? Can we close our eyes to the reality and act blind? Can we see the perishing souls all around us and not be concerned? In Ezekiel chapter 33, verses 1 to 6 and 9, we have a very solemn picture that is presented here by God to us about our responsibility. This talks about watchmen set on the walls of Jerusalem, whose duty was to watch and report what's happening. We are the watchmen. Yes, to warn the people of the impending doom. If we blow the trumpet and warn and the people do not take heed, then their blood is on their heads. But we have done our duty. But if we see the approaching danger and not blow the trumpet and warn, and if people perish, then the responsibility is on our heads. Do you understand how important is this responsibility you and I have as Christians? Do you see how important the role you are called upon to take on? Then, how can you be so complacent and be at ease? How can you not act and do something so that the perishing souls can be saved? God is counting on you, my friend, each one of you, and me, to go out and rescue the perishing, care for the dying, for Jesus is merciful and Jesus will save. Jesus is merciful. Yes, Ezekiel 33, verse 11 says, He has no pleasure in the death of the wicked. You see how merciful God is? He has no pleasure in the death of the wicked. In 2 Peter 3:9, he says, He is not wishing that any should perish, that all should have the repentance and be saved. I'll close with a story. The story is something that all of us as Americans have heard of. This happened in 2001. The great disaster in New York. You remember?
Yes.
Those two towers hit by the aeroplanes? Okay. The story goes on to say that the whole nation was disturbed, and then people ran to do whatever they could, and here was this man by the name, what this man's name? Dave Katz. Dave Katz heard the story of this disaster that took place. Now he lived in Connecticut. He was in his office, sitting at his desk, doing his bookkeeping, when he heard the story about these planes hitting these twin towers. So immediately he got up, and then he went to his boss and said, Boss, I need a couple of days off. I want to go to New York. And so the story tells us. He was given the leave. So this man, Dave, quickly jumped into his car, gathered a few things that he needed, and then driving 120, 130 miles per hour, he made his way to New York. Coming straight, he put on his military overalls, because he was in military before. And then he walked to the place where this disaster took place. And the officers were driving away people from there. They want to make sure that the place was clear so that no further lives would be lost. Since this man had his military overalls, he could somehow get inside and not be chased away. So when he was going around, he found another ex-military guy also inside the debris. So together with him, both of them went around, going to this place, going to that place, in that fallen twin towers, and then trying to listen a little bit here, trying to listen a little bit there. They tried to see if there could be any life anywhere under the debris. And as they walked around, the story tells that they heard a faint knock, somebody hitting on the pipes that were there in that destroyed twin towers. So listening carefully, they went close and then moving things away, pulling this, pulling that, digging here, digging there. They finally located two men buried underneath, Will Jamino and John McLaughlin. And so they pulled them out from all the debris. And when they pulled them out, these men were number 19 and 18 and 19 of the 20 lives that they were able to save from the debris. 18 and 19. Friend, there are people perishing all around us. There are souls being lost everywhere. Dying in pain, crying for help, hearing all this. How can you sit comfortably in your Jesus? How can you be complacent and not feel the pain and the suffering of the dying souls? God is counting on you. God is counting on me. God is counting on each one of us that we step out and save the perishing souls so that they, along with us, may be saved in the kingdom of God when He comes to establish it. May God help us to be burdened to save souls as long as we live on this earth, is my prayer.
Thank you, Pastor. It's a solemn calling for each one of us that we would be able to be an empty instrument and the righteous right hand of Christ to be used in these last days, rescuing the perishing. The closing song is Let's All Rise Up and Sing the song, Rescue the Perishing, Care for the Dying, Smash them and pray for sin and the great. Will be an awesome song. Let's all stand up.
Yeah.
calling us to be co-laborers. Help us to see the perishing souls all around us. Help us to have the burden-loving Lord to go and save them for your kingdom. Forgive us when we are weak. Strengthen us, Lord, that we may live for you and be yours alone. Bless every head bowed, every hope that is represented. Use us as long as you give us life to live on this earth, to win souls and bring them into your kingdom. In Jesus' precious name we pray.
Please be seated. Thank you very much for joining us this Sabbath afternoon, and I want to thank you for all joining us. This is just a small home church. You're most welcome to be there with us. You need some visitation prayer, and we are always there to help you out in whatever possible. So please feel free to express yourself with us. Now it's time for physical lunch too, and the meal has been arranged in Brother Anand's house, and I hope that we all will be able to be there. See you there in Mr. Anand's house so that we could be able to fellowship with one another physically. And hope to see you again, and if it is God's will that we could be able to meet again. We do have flyers on the welcome table. You can just, the address of Mr. Anand is there. You can just pick up, and then if not, we are here to lead you. We'll be very happy to take you there too. Okay. Till we meet again, let the presence of the Lord go with us. Maranatha, Jesus is coming again.
Amen.
Amen.